So finding a nice tall seat, maybe sitting on support or a bolster. You might reach back, pull the flesh away from your sitting bones. And rest your hands on your knees, your thighs, or your lap. Allow the eyes to soften, maybe to close. Allow your spine to grow nice and tall. And bring your attention into your natural breath. Arriving right here, right now, into this moment. And as we arrive, I'm going to read a quote by Rumi, or a poem. Your hand opens and closes and opens and closes. If it were always a fist or always stretched open, you would be paralyzed. Your deepest presence is in every small contracting and expanding, the two as beautifully balanced and coordinated as bird wings. I'll read that again. Your hand opens and closes and opens and closes. If it were always a fist or always stretched open, you would be paralyzed. Your deepest presence is in every small contracting and expanding, the two as beautifully balanced and coordinated as bird wings. Let's bring the palms to stack at your heart, and we'll start right off with a mudra, Garuda mudra. So I was always taught female left palm on top, male right palm on top, but you get to choose. And with the palms stacking, hook your thumbs. Hook your thumbs. The palms are in the center of the heart, and the fingers are fanning out towards opposite shoulders. Sitting up nice and tall here. And the back of the body soft. And notice the breath here. Without trying to change it or manipulate it. Noticing how the breath is moving you from the inside out. Garuda mudra, beautiful mudra for the respiratory system, the circulatory system. It's a beautiful mudra to calm anxious energies, and to balance the right and left hemispheres of the brain. But even notice here as we breathe into this mudra, notice the expanding and contracting of the ribs, the outer ribs. Maybe the back of the ribs, the front of the ribs. Maybe all sides circumferentially. Creating space, creating freedom in that cage of the ribs. Good. And I invite you right here to call to mind your heartfelt intention, dedication, or prayer for your practice, your day, or out into the world. And once your intention is clear, softly blinking your eyes to open, we'll start with a little mudra flow. As you inhale, widen your elbows, lift your heart, look up. As you exhale, catch your elbows around your back, draw your navel towards your spine. On an inhale, sit up nice and tall, stretch out your arms like bird wings. I'm not going to mirror you here. As you exhale, turn to the right. Bring your left hand to your right shoulder. Peek at right hand thumb. Inhale, center. Sit up a little bit taller. Good. Exhale, turn to the left. Right hand, left shoulder. Peek at left hand thumb. Inhale, center. Lift your palms. Lift your heart. Look up. Little back bend. Exhale, Garuda Mudra. Bow back in. And let's repeat. Inhale, open, expand, heart bright, lift your gaze. As you exhale, catch your elbows around your back like you're stuck in a sweater. On an inhale, sit up nice and tall. Stretch out your arms like bird wings. Good. As you exhale, turn to the right. Peek at right hand thumb. As you inhale, come back to center. Reach your arms out. Sit up taller. As you exhale, turn to the left, peek at left hand thumb. Inhale, center, lift your palms, lift your heart, lift your gaze, a little back bend. Exhale, Garuda Mudra. I'll just call the breath this time. Feel free to gaze forward. Inhale, open, expand. Good. Exhale, catch your elbows around your back. Inhale. Tall, stretch out your wings. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, center, lift your palms, lift your heart, lift your gaze. Exhale, Garuda Mudra. Let's stay and breathe. Allow your heart to rise up into your palms. Your head to stack right over your heart. And allow your skin to soften. Notice the breath here, or the residue of the postures. Good. And then when you're ready, relax your hands down, blink your eyes to open. And let's go ahead, lean back, give the knees a little bit of a shake. And we'll switch the crossing of the shins since we were sitting there for a decent amount of time. Get comfy, you might reach back, pull the flesh away. Let's release a little typing hand. So let's bring the backs of the hands together. Bring the backs of the hands together. Keep the collarbones nice and broad, crown of the head rises. And let's start to circle the wrists. And you might move the hands up and down. You might move the hands side to side. But all I ask is that wherever your wrists go, your gaze follows. Wherever your wrists go, your gaze follows. That might mean turning the body. That might mean turning just the head. That might mean turning just the eyes. It's nice to exercise the eyes out of it too, especially, I think, if you stare a lot at a computer screen, as most of us do lately. A couple more breaths here. Good. And then when you're ready, inhale, reach your arms up. Turn your palms forward. And let's start to make a little bit of an apple picking motion here, just to wake up the side body a little more. And for the record, this is really not how you pick apples at all. I guess unless you have a really long torso. Good. One more time, each side. And then reach your arms up. Go ahead, interlace your fingers. Turn your palms up towards the ceiling. Wiggle through the side body. Reach up more. Good. Take a nice inhale here. And as you exhale, slowly unwind the arms all the way down to the earth. Fingertips touch the earth. Let's take an inhale here, sit taller. As you exhale, right ear, right shoulder. Right ear, right shoulder. Breathe. You might even find a half bind in that left arm, wrapping it around the waist, or you might even catch your right arm just as an option. And breathe. Good. We'll inhale the head back up. Exhale, unwind. And go right to the other side. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. And exhale, left ear, left shoulder. You might stay here. You might find a half bind at the top of the thigh, or you might catch your left arm. And breathe. Okay. And collarbones stay nice and broad here. The jaw is relaxed. Okay. One more breath. And then inhale, lift the head up. As you exhale, unwind the arms. Bring your hands behind you, lean back, stretch the legs forward. Give the knees a bit of a shake. And I want to do one more thing here in the upper body. So sit up nice and tall, and we'll bring the arms back. Fingers will face the wall behind you. Broaden the collarbones and allow the fronts of the shoulders to move towards the backs of the shoulders. Stack your head right over your heart. And if you're sticking your front ribs forward like I am, draw your front ribs a little bit towards your back ribs so you can really expand those ribs in all directions here. And as we breathe here into the innermost armpits, keeping the shoulder heads nice and open, begin to consider walking your pinkies towards one another. Walking your pinkies towards one another. They don't have to touch. They don't have to touch. I'll turn to face you. Breathe. If you find that you cannot breathe here, widen your hands. To me, the breath is more important. Good. And 37 more breaths. I'm just kidding, 2 more breaths. Good. And we'll go ahead and release that. Give everything a nice shake. And let's make our way into a tabletop position. Hands and knees position on the mat, please. Do pad your knees if you need to. Wrists right under your shoulders, knees under your hips. Find that nice long spine. Collarbones are broad, the crown of the head is lengthening. Let's take an inhale to the roof of your mouth, please. And an exhale down to the base of the spine. Let's follow that path of breath, cat-cow. As you inhale, draw your heart forward, a little pause at the top. And exhale, round the spine, press the floor away, hollow out your low belly. Again, inhale, draw your heart forward. And exhale, round. Just one more time. Inhale, draw your heart forward. And exhale, round. This time, inhale to a nice long spine. Let's slide your right leg straight back, curl the toes under. Might feel yummy to press or pulse out to the heel for a breath or two. And then with the shoulders right over the wrists, press the floor away. Even that left shin, top of your left foot is rooting towards the earth. And as you inhale, breathe your right leg parallel to the floor, please. Hug your inner thighs together. All 5 toes flexing down, unless you have a really sensitive SI. They might pivot out just a tiny little bit. Let's do a little core work. Take an inhale here, grow longer from heel to crown. As you exhale, round knee to nose, please. You might even give the knee a little kiss. And inhale, reach it back, heart forward, maybe a little back bend. Exhale, round. You might give your knee a little kiss. Just an option. Again, inhale, reach it back. And exhale, round. This time, inhale, reach it straight back. Let's stay for the exhale. Draw your navel towards your spine. And we'll cross that right leg behind your left leg. Set the toes down. Whoops. Press out through that right heel. And take a peek over your left shoulder at that right heel. And I want to give the option of pivoting your left hand or your left fingers to the left. You might even pivot your right fingers to the right and breathe. Allow the upper body to slowly unwind first. And let's inhale your right leg back. As you exhale, set the knee down. Let's bring the knees wide, big toes to touch. Sit back, child's pose, please. You might circle your wrists here if that feels yummy. Good. And then stretching your arms forward, gaze forward, and inhale back to that tabletop position. And this time we'll slide that left leg back, curl your toes under, please, and press or pulse out through that heel. We actually have a bladder meridian that runs down the back of the leg. And then with the shoulders right over the wrists, press the floor away. Root your right shin, top of your right foot towards your mat, and breathe your left leg parallel to the earth. Hug the inner thighs together, all 5 toes down, or maybe a little bit out. Take a nice inhale here, grow longer from heel to crown. As you exhale, round knee to nose, you might give that knee a little kiss. And then inhale, reach it back, draw your heart forward. Good. 2 more. Exhale, round. Inhale, reach it back. And 1 more time. Exhale, round. Inhale, reach it straight back. As you exhale here, draw your navel towards your spine. And let's cross your left leg behind your right leg. Set the toes down. And as you press out through the heel, take a peek over your right shoulder at that left heel. Good. You might pivot your right hand to the right. You might pivot your left hand to the left. And breathe. Allow the upper body to slowly unwind first. We'll inhale your left leg back. As you exhale, set the knee down. 1 more time, child's pose. And as the arms stretch forward, roll your palms open towards the ceiling. Roll your palms open. Allow the underarms to roll towards the sides of the room. You might stay here, you might bend your elbows, give yourself a little pat on the back. You might even crawl your elbow joints a little bit forward, like little crab claws. And give yourself a little massage in those upper traps, tops of the shoulders, sides of the neck. An area that often likes to hold the whole world up. And then unwinding your arms, gaze between your hands, and inhale forward to a tabletop position, please. Good. Curl your toes under. Walk your hands 1 handprint forward, creases of your wrists in line with the front edge of your yoga mat. Keep that index finger and thumb anchored to the floor, upper arms rolling open, and slide your hips up and back, downward facing dog, please. You might walk it out, bending 1 knee at a time. Good. Great. If your low back is feeling sensitive, bring your feet as wide as your sticky mat is wide. Totally fine. Otherwise, feet about hip bone distance. And tops of your thigh bones reaching up and back. Heels sinking back and down. And then soften the knees a little bit or a lot of it. Gaze between your hands, and let's take a very slow journey forward to the backs of your hands. I'll meet you in a forward fold or a ragdoll shape. Just allow the arms to relax down here. The head and neck to relax down. You might gently shake the head out, yes, and shake it, no. even look at your feet while you're here, see what they're doing. Grounding in that big toe mound, pinky toe mound, center of your heels. And keep the knees bending forward. Take an inhale, fill your back, please. And as you exhale, roll it up vertebrae by vertebrae. The back of the head is the last to rise. And once it does, inhale, reach your arms up parallel. You might look up. And as you exhale, lower your arms shoulders height, palms are up. Melt the shoulder blades onto your back. Turn your palms down and exhale all the way down. Good, very nice. Finding Tadasana in your feet, so if your stance is a little bit wider, bring your feet about hip bone distance apart, about 5 to 6 inches apart. You might lift and spread your toes nice and wide. Rooting, once again, in that big toe mound, pinky toe mound, center of the heels. And spread the toes all the way down. Good. While we're here, keep the knees a little bit soft. Keep the groins or the creases at the tops of your thighs a bit soft. Bring one hand to your low belly and one hand to your sacrum, that triangular plate at the base of your spine. And notice if you're sticking your buttocks back or maybe you're tucking your tailbone under. So can you imagine this pelvic bowl was a container of water? And how can you find that balanced point where that container wouldn't spill? Right? So a nice neutral pelvis. Once you find that neutral pelvis, relax your arms down and begin to telescope the legs up into the bowl of the pelvis without tipping that bowl over in one direction. Bring your attention up to the cage of the ribs, stacking the cage of the ribs right over the bowl of the pelvis, and stacking the head right over the heart. Let's take an inhale to the roof of your mouth, please. And open the mouth, let it go. Good. On an inhale, reach your arms parallel once again. We just did this, you might look up. As you exhale, lower your arms, shoulders height, palms up, blades down, palms down. Exhale, rest of the way down. Good. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, reach your arms up, look up. As you exhale, lower your arms, shoulders height, blades down, palms down. Exhale, rest of the way down. Now watch one time, and then we'll do it together. We're going to add on. So we'll inhale, reach the arms up. And this time we'll exhale, lower the arms, shoulders height. My palms are up. Blades slide down. I'm going to turn my palms forward towards the front of the room. Bend my knees forward like a chair. I'll take an inhale here. And as I exhale, turning from the bowl of the pelvis, I'm going to hinge forward. So the pelvis starts to tip back as the torso lengthens forward. I'm parallel to the floor, parallel to the floor. Now, if you're still working on some core strength, you might lower your hands to blocks here or to a chair or even to the floor. Otherwise, we'll take a nice inhale here, shift the weight a little bit towards the toes, almost like you're going to fall off the edge of a cliff. And as you exhale, we'll surrender all the way down. Bend your knees, head and neck relaxes. We'll take an inhale, fill the back. And as we exhale, we'll round it up vertebrae by vertebrae. Back of the head is the last to rise. And then we'll inhale the arms up. And we'll exhale, lower the arms, blades down, palms down. Exhale, rest of the way down. And then we'll do that thousands of times together. We'll do that about 4 or 5 times together. So have blocks if you need them. Root down into the earth. And let's start with just the arms. So on an inhale, reach your arms up, parallel. As you exhale, lower your arms, shoulders height, blades down, palms down. Exhale, rest the way down. Good. And now we'll add on. So as you inhale, stretch your arms up, look up. As you exhale, reach your arms out, blades down. Turn your palms forward. Let's pause here. So broaden your collarbones, but at the same time, draw the shoulder blades a little bit towards one another. Good. Bend your knees forward, think chair pose. Good. Take a nice inhale here. As you exhale, begin to turn at the hips, hinging forward parallel to the floor. Spine stays nice and long. We'll call this core strength. Take a nice inhale here, grow longer, shift the weight a little bit towards your toes. As you exhale, surrender all the way down, bending the knees, rounding the back. Take an inhale, fill your back. And as you exhale, roll it up vertebrae by vertebrae. And the back of the neck is the last to rise. And once it does, inhale, reach your arms up, look up. As you exhale, lower your arms, shoulders height, blades down, palms down. Exhale, rest of the way down. Good. Let's do that again together. On an inhale, reach your arms up. So continuing this moving meditation today. As you exhale, lower your arms, shoulders height. Turn your palms forward, bend your knees forward. Let's take an inhale, expand out. And as you exhale, hinge forward, parallel to the floor. Head in line with the heart. Don't let the head dip. Good. Take an inhale, grow longer. You might even find a little cobra in your upper back. Good, very nice. As you exhale, fold. Relax. Take an inhale here, fill your back. And as you exhale, roll it up vertebrae by vertebrae. All the way up you come. On an inhale, reach your arms up, look up. Exhale, lower your arms, shoulders height, blades down, palms down. Exhale, rest of the way down. Let's do that one more time together. Inhale, reach your arms up, please. As you exhale, lower your arms, shoulders height, blades down. Good. Turn your palms forward, take an inhale, expand, bend the knees a little or a lot. As you exhale, hinge forward, turning out the hips. Inner thighs roll back. Good. Take an inhale, grow longer, shift the weight a little bit towards the toes, back of the neck is long. As you exhale, surrender, melt. Allow the earth to hold you. Take an inhale into the back. And as you exhale, roll it up vertebrae by vertebrae, all the way up you come. Once the head stacks, inhale, reach your arms up, look up. As you exhale, lower the arms, shoulders height, blades down, palms down. Exhale, rest of the way down. Very nice. Good. Let's take a little pause here. Bring one hand to your low belly, one hand to your heart. You might close your eyes or gaze off the bridge of your nose. Receiving that posture here. And if the heart is beating quickly, let's take an inhale through your nose. And out the mouth, let it go. Let's make an M sound. And take a smooth inhale through the nose. Good. And one more time, smooth inhale through the nose. Good, very nice. Unwinding your arms. And let's take a quarter turn facing forward, so we might be on different legs here. Stretch your arms out, measure your stance, ankles underneath your wrists. Bring your hands to your hips, please. Deep within the hip socket, let's pivot the right toes forward. You might slightly pigeon toe your back leg, heel to arch alignment. On an inhale, stretch your arms open. And as you exhale, bend the front knee forward, warrior two. Good. Any fatigue in your upper arms, you might bring your hands to your hips, totally fine. Take a little peek at your front knee right over the ankle. And once again, notice the bowl of your pelvis. So you might bring one hand to your low belly, one hand to your sacrum. And how can you find a nice neutral pelvic bowl so it's not sticking back, it's not tucking under, the bowl is nice and balanced here. Good. And once you find that, you might reach the arms back up. Good. We'll roll the palms open once again. Melt your shoulder blades on your back. Bring your gaze forward. Let's add a little movement here. As you inhale, lift your arms, you might look up. As you exhale, palms down, warrior two. Good. Again, inhale, lift your arms, lift your gaze, look up. Exhale, palms down, warrior two. You might imagine you're moving through dense water. Good. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, warrior two. Good. Last time, inhale, reach your arms up. Keep your arms reaching to the sky, please. As you exhale, bend your front knee forward, warrior two. So front knee right over the ankle, nice neutral pelvis. And imagine you're squeezing a beach ball between your palms. It might be a great big beach ball, it might be a narrow beach ball. Take an inhale, reach it up more. As you exhale, navel towards your spine, hinge right over your front thigh, a little hover. And then we'll bring the forearm to the thigh, or maybe your hand slides to the floor or a block. You get to choose. Root your back foot down. Really allow that back foot to be your anchor. Take an inhale, stretch longer to your fingertips, please. And as you exhale, bend your top elbow, gaze down. You might peek at your front knee. Make sure it's right over the ankle. Inhale, stretch the arm, gaze forward or towards your armpit. We'll do that one more time. Exhale, bend your elbow, gaze down. Inhale, stretch and stay. And how can you really embody this pose? How can you really enjoy this pose? That might mean you reach the arm up, or bring the hand to the hip. You can find that bind here. Just an option. Good. Breathe. Great. One more breath. If you're bound, let's slowly unbind the arm, reach it up. Bring the gaze down, make sure that front knee is right over the ankle. Let's inhale all the way up to stand, please. Good. Bring your hands to your hips, parallel your feet. Heel toe your feet, one heel toe closer. And we're going to pivot the heels in, toes out. Heels in, toes out. Reach your arms out like you're a big letter X. Take a nice inhale here. As you exhale, goddess pose. Great. And see how this feels with that neutral pelvis. If it doesn't feel good, you might even hinge it a little bit forward. Totally fine. You might rock a little bit from side to side. Make sure this feels happy in your knees, in your ankles. You might even make sure the knees are tracking in the same direction as the feet. If they're not, adjust the feet. Good. Let's add a little movement. As you inhale, reach your arms up. And as you exhale, come back in. Good. On an inhale, reach your arms up. Listen carefully. As you exhale, come back in. Try to push your feet away from one another. What? Good. Again, inhale, reach up. As you exhale, come in. Try to push your feet away from one another. And one more time. Inhale, reach up. Good. Exhale, try to push your feet away. Good. This time, inhale, reach up. Reach the arms out to the sides, palms forward. Parallel your feet. You might soften your knees. Take a nice inhale here. As you exhale, hinge forward, parallel to the floor. Good. And we'll go ahead, lower the hands to the floor. All the way down you go. Fold in. As you inhale, lengthen your spine, grow long. And exhale to fold. 5 breaths. Good. If the crown of the head is close to the earth, I want to give the option of walking your palms back so they line up with the heels of your feet. And the elbows are tacking back. The shoulders are shrugging up and onto the back. And there's freedom in the head and the neck here. The head might touch the earth or a block. One more breath. And then walking your hands right under your shoulders. As you inhale, lengthen your spine. And I want to take a little pause here. So bend your knees enough that you can really grow your spine parallel to the floor. Bring your hands to your hips. Hug your shoulder blades towards one another. With that long spine, inhale, rise all the way up. Good, very nice. Reach the arms out. We'll set up for the second side. You might re-widen your stance. Good. Bring the hands to the hips. Deep within the hip socket, let's pivot the left toes forward and your right toes slightly forward, heel to arch alignment. Let's keep the hands on the hips. Take a nice inhale here, grow taller. And as you exhale, bend that front knee forward. Beautiful, front knee right over the ankle. And you might check out the bowl, the pelvis. Can you find a nice neutral pelvic bowl here? And notice if that resonates into that back leg. Good. When you're ready, breathe your arms open. Roll your palms open. Melt your shoulder blades down your back, gaze forward, and we'll find that movement here. On an inhale, lift your knee, lift your arms, lift your gaze. Exhale, warrior 2, as if moving through dense water. Good. Again, inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, warrior 2. Last time, inhale, lift. We'll keep the arms lifted. As you exhale, bend that front knee forward. Good. Find that neutral pelvic bowl. Imagine that beach ball, hug it in. Take an inhale, reach it up. As you exhale, navel towards your spine, hinge right over your front thigh. Little hover, bring your forearm or hand to the thigh. Good. Root that back foot down. Take an inhale, stretch longer to your fingertips. As you exhale, bend your top elbow, gaze down. Might check out that bottom knee. Inhale, reach the arm, gaze forward or towards your armpit. One more time, exhale, bend your elbow, gaze down. Inhale, stretch and stay. And as we breathe here, once again, how can you really invite this posture to nourish you today? You might find that half bind. You might reach the arm to the sky. Just an option. Good, beautiful. If you're in that bind, very slowly unbind, reach the arm to the sky. We'll all slowly gaze down, check out your front knee. On an inhale, come all the way up to stand, please. Good. Exhale your hands to your hips, parallel your feet, and heel toe your feet, one heel toe closer. Good. And once again, pivot the heels out, heels in, toes out, heels in, toes out. Reach your arms out. Take up space here, take a nice inhale. As you exhale, goddess pose. Good. Now we've been here before, right? So you might rock a little bit from side to side. Good. And I want to give a couple options here just for fun. You might stay here, you might move in and out of the shape. I want to give an option to lift your right heel. Sit a little deeper. Lower the heel down. Lift your left heel. Sit a little deeper. Lower the heel down. You might repeat that, or just for fun, you might lift both heels. You don't have to. Sit a little deeper. Lower the heels down. Good. And then inhale, reach up, 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 up. As you exhale, reach your arms out to the sides. Parallel, you might even slightly pigeon toe your feet here. Might feel really yummy. Take an inhale here, breathe out into your fingertips. And as you exhale, hinge forward, hands all the way to the earth or support. On an inhale, lengthen your spine. And exhale, fold. 5 breaths. I want to give the option of taking your first 2 fingers, your peace fingers, around the mounds of the big toes. We call it yogi toe lock. Just an option. If that's you, take an inhale, lengthen your spine forward. As you exhale, bow in. The elbows are widening towards the sides of the room. The shoulder blades are shrugging onto the back. And the crown of the head is relaxing down. Breathe. Release one set of toes at a time, if that is you. On an inhale, lengthen your spine. On an exhale, bring your hands to your hips. Hug your shoulder blades towards one another. That nice long spine. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. Good. Reach your arms out and either hop or heel toe your feet all the way together. And we'll step to the top of your yoga mat, finding Tadasana. Finding Tadasana. You might widen your feet just a bit here. And as we bake and settle in, one more time, bring one hand to your low belly, one hand to your heart. You might close your eyes or find a soft gaze down the bridge of your nose. Really softening all the musculature around the eyes here. Good. And then relax your arms down. If it feels good, you might give your legs a little bit of a shake. I think we've worked pretty hard in the legs. So give them a little shake out. Good. And then bring your feet a little wider than hip bone distance once again. Root down, you might soften your knees a little bit here. Grow the crown of the head nice and tall. Relax your arms down and imagine you're holding two really heavy bags of groceries. I like to imagine I'm holding really heavy bags of soup. So really feel that weight of the bags. And as the weight draws the arm bones down, keep lengthening the spine, crown of the head nice and tall. And then go ahead, relax the soup or relax the bags. Begin to wiggle your fingers, reach your arms out to the sides of the room. Try to tickle your neighbor. Good, great. And then relax your fingers. Turn your palms open once again. Melt your shoulder blades onto your back. Turn your palms forward. Take a nice inhale. Let's bring the right arm on top. Give yourself a hug, a really good hug. You might close your eyes, you might crawl your fingers closer, you might wiggle, you might make some sound. And we're going to stay here and breathe about 5 breath cycles. Now I like to use my finger pads to press around wherever they reach. Maybe they're around your armpits or around the shoulder blades. I like to massage deep around the shoulder blades. It's a nice storage area. I once stored a whole relationship there. Okay. And sending your breath into the back of the heart. Sending your breath into the back of the heart. And you might imagine I was resting my hand on the back of your heart very softly. And could you send your breath back into my hand if it was there? And even if I were to draw my hand back about 3 feet, could you still send the breath back into the hand? Okay. And I want to give the option to stay here, or we'll come into eagle arms, lifting your bottom forearm up, top forearm up. You might bring it forward, make a little U-turn, find the palm or the back of the hand, you get to choose. Keep the knees a little bit soft here. Scoop your elbows in line with your shoulders. And what would it feel like to move your forearms away from the body? But at the same time, broaden your collarbones a bit here. Stack your head right over your heart. And from your heart to the crown of the head, grow taller. And breathe. To gaze right between the wrists. If you have a deeper expression of this pose that you'd like to take, be my guest. We are warmed and ready for it, but I think we'll stay here for now. Good. And jaw is relaxed. Good. One more breath. Nice inhale. And as you exhale, unthread the arms, reach them out. Lower them all the way down. Let's roll the shoulders here. So lift one shoulder up, bring it back and down. And the other shoulder up, bring it back and down. Let's do that one more time, each arm. And then almost like you're swimming, let's reverse that. So leading with the elbow. You might do that one more time, each side. You might imagine you're moving through that dense water. And when you're ready, lift both shoulders up, bring them back, and exhale them onto the back. Head is right over your heart. Good. Roll your palms in, imagine a little weight in your arms. Good. Relax your fingers down, let's wiggle the fingers, reach the arms out to the sides. Good. And then we'll roll the palms open, melt your shoulder blades on your back. Turn your palms forward, take a nice inhale, left arm on top, give yourself a hug, a good hug. You might walk your fingers closer. I like to wiggle here. You might make that M sound if you like. And the heart center also controls the vagus nerve, which vibrates every time we make that sound. It's always nice to do here. Beginning to press around with your fingertips wherever they land. Giving yourself a very loving massage here. You might send your breath back into the back of the heart as if there was a loving hand resting there. Good. Good. When you're ready, you might stay here or finding your expression of eagle. Maybe the backs of the hands find one another, maybe the palms. Keep the knees a little bit soft, groins a bit deep. Scoop your elbows in line with the shoulders. What would it feel like to move the forearms a little bit forward? And then allow the collarbones to broaden a bit here. Head right over your heart. And from your heart to the crown of the head, rise towards the sun. And breathe. Good, very nice. The jaw is soft. The inner ears are broadening. Good. One more breath. And take a nice inhale. And as you exhale, unwind, reach your arms out. And exhale, lower them all the way down. Very nice. Bring your feet as wide as your sticky mat is wide. Soften the knees forward. And with the arms alongside the body, keep the collarbones broad. But let's turn the palms back. Good. On an inhale, reach your arms forward and up. As you exhale, reach your arms back, flex your heart, flex your palms, lift your heart, make sound. Ha! Good. I'm glad you got that. Let's do that again. Inhale, arms forward and up. Exhale, reach your arms back, make sound. Ha! Two more. Inhale. Ha! And one more time. Inhale. Ha! Good. Heel toe your feet about hip bone distance. And let's come all the way down to sit on the mat. Come all the way down to sit. And before we make our way onto our back for a little back bending, I want you to have a few things. If you have two blocks, have them on the sides of your yoga mat. Have them at the sides of your yoga mat. If you don't have them, don't worry about it. Have a strap reachable, might need it. And taking your time, bend your knees, make sure there's nothing behind you. And your favorite way, I'll meet you rolling all the way back. I will show you my favorite way if you're new to me. You can bring your hands behind you, keep the shoulders nice and open. And as you exhale, navel to spine, lowering down, dragging your hands towards your heels, gazing at your navel. And all the way down you go. So really take your time, honoring any instincts here to stretch or move or even give the knees a good hug. Good. And as you settle in, please take your time. We'll set up for moving bridge today. So the knees pretty much right over the ankles. If the arms are alongside the body, we used to say the fingers should graze the heels. We don't say that anymore because if you have a really short torso or really long arms, that might not work for you. So allow it to be comfortable on your low back. If you have that block nearby, you might take that block and place it between your upper inner thighs. Just an option to keep your knees nice and parallel. Just an option. And let's catch hold of the mat with your hands today. Catch hold of the outer edges of your mat with your hands. Roll your palms in towards the body. And tuck the corners of your shoulders under like you're tucking in the corners of a sheet. Let's take a breath here. Take a nice inhale. Take a nice exhale. Root your feet into the earth. As you inhale, lift your hips up a little bit, a lot of bit, or not a bit. And as you exhale, roll it down vertebrae by vertebrae. All the way down you go. And like a little wave, let's reverse that. Inhale, peeling yourself up. Low back, mid back, upper back. And exhale, rolling it down, vertebrae by vertebrae. And this is yours, continuing at your rhythm, please. Okay. And the next time you rise up, consider staying. Consider staying. And collarbones are broad, the tips of the shoulders are tacking back. And what would it feel like to try to pull your mat apart here? And try to pull your mat apart. Okay. Take a nice inhale together. Upper body can stay where it is, arms can stay. As you exhale, roll it down vertebrae by vertebrae. All the way down you go. Good. And once you touch down, let's draw the knees all the way into the chest. Might feel good to widen the knees towards your armpits. You might wrap your arms around the shins or flex the feet up to the sky, finding happy baby pose. Happy baby pose. Okay. You might catch your feet. You might hold the backs of your thighs, your choice. But wherever you are, what would it feel like to allow your sacrum to soften more towards the earth? Or to yield to gravity? Good. Great. Very slowly, let's bring the soles of the feet together. Pause. Bring your hands to your outermost knees. Slowly draw the knees together. Pause. And we'll set the feet flat on the mat, hip bone distance apart once again. And if you have those blocks, bring them pretty cozy so they're at the tops of your thighs on the outside. And you might set them low. May or may not need them, but they're there in case you do. Finding your strap, please. Finding your strap. And let's draw the right knee in. Strap up your right foot at the padding of the toes, the metatarsals. And inhale that right leg up to the sky a little bit, a lot of bit. Feel free to keep the knees soft. And as you press the foot up into the strap, at the same time, draw the strap down towards your right hip. Good. You might stay here or come onto the heel edge of your left foot and slide your left leg to the top of your yoga mat. Heel is back, all 5 toes flexing up. Unlock the knee. Allow the back of your left thigh to root. And what would it feel like, without moving the legs, what would it feel like to imagine your big toes had magnets on them and there was a magnetic pull drawing your big toes together? As that magnetic pull draws your big toes together, you might invite that right leg back. But keep the idea of scissoring the legs together as that right leg maybe reaches towards a wall behind you. It doesn't have to. And breathe. You do have to do that. Good. Maybe the backs of the shoulders soften back towards gravity. Good. Now listen carefully. Let's catch hold of both sides of the strap in your right hand. And let's start with your left hand on the top of your left thigh. Left thigh anchored to the earth. Now before we widen that right leg out, as we will in a moment, begin to pivot your right toes to the right. Begin to pivot your right toes to the right. And notice the direction the toes are going. In a moment, on an exhale, we'll widen that right leg in the direction of the toes. So let's take an inhale together. And as you exhale, begin to widen that right leg out. Now that block is there to hold the leg if it likes to be held. You might adjust the height setting there. That left hand is on that thigh as a reminder not to roll off that left buttocks or that left thigh. So if you are, lift that block a little higher. Good. And once you find that nice neutral pelvic bowl, you might slide your left arm out to the left. Good. Breathe. One more full breath if you're still here. Nice inhale. Stay for your exhale, navel to spine. Slow and controlled inhale, lift your right leg back up. We'll take a little counter stretch. So catch the strap in your left hand, right thumb into right hip crease or groin, press it forward, and bring that right leg just a few inches across the body. I like that right buttocks fairly grounded. I don't mind if it lifts just a little bit. Good. And then when you're done, inhale that right leg back up to the sky. Hug the knee into the chest. Release the strap. And let's take a full body stretch. Arms and legs nice and long. You might hook your thumbs, try to pull your thumbs apart without pulling them apart. Yawn. And when you're ready, let's re-bend your knees, 1 foot at a time. Press your feet down as if you're going to lift into a bridge pose. Lift your buttocks just about an inch off the mat and set it back down. And this time we'll draw the left knee in. And we'll strap up that left foot at the padding of the toes today or the metatarsals. And inhale that left leg up to the sky. I like to start 90 degrees. The knee might be bending right over that hip. And as you press the foot into the strap, at the same time, draw the strap down towards the foot or down towards that left hip. Good. Even the shoulders are melting back towards your yoga mat. You might stay here or come onto the heel edge of your right foot and slide that right leg nice and long to the top of your mat. Heel back, unlock the knee, soften that right thigh bone back. And imagine your big toes are magnetized. And what would it feel like to scissor your big toes towards one another? Keep that action as you invite that left leg back. So do both. Good, breathe. I find that scissoring action usually keeps the tailbone from tucking under. Let's bring both sides of the strap into your left hand. Right hand on your right thigh in the front. And we'll externally rotate your left leg in its socket, toes out, heel in, toes out, heel in. Notice the direction the toes are going. Let's take an inhale together. And as you exhale, invite that left leg to open, and the direction of the toes, that block might be there to support you. Keeping the bowl of the pelvis nice and neutral, right thigh bone anchored, you might slide your right arm to the right. Just an option. Good. Breathe. I'm hearing gurgling sounds in my belly, which is always welcome. It means energy is moving in the bowl of the pelvis. Good. Breathe. One more breath. Nice inhale. Stay as you exhale, navel to spine. Slow and controlled inhale, breathe the leg up. Switch the grip, left thumb into the left hip crease, and draw the leg a few inches across the body. Good, very nice. When you're done, inhale that left leg to the sky. As you exhale, bend the knee in, release the strap. And let's take that full body stretch. Arms and legs nice and long. You might hook your thumbs in the opposite direction. Good. arms reaching back, one knee at a time. Bend your knees, please. Separate your arms, shoulders distance. And once again, press your feet down, lift your buttocks 1 inch, reset. Let's do this. Lift your buttocks once again. Shift your hips a little bit to the left. Draw the knees in. And exhale, knees up and over to the right. Easy twist. If that block is in the way, you might move it. You might even set that block between your knees, shins, ankles. Just an option. And your right arm can drape on the top of that left thigh. And breathe. Any pulling in the low back, we slide support between or under the shins. Or change the arm. Good. 2 more breaths. A nice inhale when you're ready. As you exhale, draw your navel towards your spine. You might reach your arms back. And 1 knee at a time, come on up. We'll shift the hips up and over to the other side. Draw the knees in. And exhale, knees up and over. You might drape that left arm on the top of that right thigh. You might snuggle a block or support between the knees. And breathe. And 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Nice inhale. Stay as you exhale, navel to spine. You might unwind the arms 1 knee at a time. Come on up. Reset your hips and hug your knees all the way in. Give them a good hug, a good squeeze. If it feels good, you might exhale, curl up into a tight little ball. And relax your head back, stretching out to Shavasana, final relaxation. Take your time. As always, if you'd like a little support behind your knees, if there's any additional movement your body is craving, honor that. And as you arrive back in this final pose, maybe the palms are rolling open. Take a nice inhale here. And open the mouth, exhale. Take an inhale, hold the breath, squeeze your fist, squeeze your face, squeeze your toes, squeeze your belly, squeeze, 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 squeeze. Let it go. Good. And 1 more time, deep inhale, hold the breath, squeeze your fist, squeeze your toes, squeeze your belly, squeeze, 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 squeeze. Let it go. Good. And rest. Shavasana. hand opens and closes and opens and closes. If it were always a fist or always stretched open, you would be paralyzed. Your deepest presence is in every small contracting and expanding, the two as beautifully balanced and coordinated as bird wings. Deepening the breath. Wiggling fingers and toes. Circling wrists and ankles. And stretching and yawning. You might choose to stay reclined or one knee at a time, bending your knees and rolling to rest on a side of your choosing, using your upper arm as a pillow. And slowly pressing yourself all the way up to a comfortable, tall seat. Bringing palms together sweetly at the heart and reconnecting to your heartfelt intention, dedication, or prayer. And let's seal in our practice together with the sound of one Om. First a breath, take a nice inhale and let it go. Inhale. Bowing your thinking mind to your heart, honoring that light within, allowing that light to shine brightly for you and everyone you choose to surround yourself with today and the rest of your week. Lifting your chin, and together we say, Namaste.